Hola, good morning. Welcome to our 60-minute Hatha class today for all levels. Normally I teach it on the chair, so if you've been here before and you want to sit at the edge of your chair, just make sure that your feet are rooted into the ground. And if you are seated on your mat today, just allow yourself to take out any excess flesh from the sit bones. That is the same with even if you're sitting on the chair. And if you're seated on the mat, just feeling all those connection points, rooted and connected to the earth, to the floor. So no matter where you are, just allowing yourself to just begin to make the eyes a little bit heavy, weighing them down. You might even completely close them, and that's all right as well. Just getting connected to our environment, our space here. Just giving yourself a quick body scan. We'll start at the crown of the head, feeling the sides of the head, just with your intention. Noticing the muscles surrounding the face, allowing them to soften. Perhaps the teeth are clenched together, allowing them to softly melt away from the mouth. Or the tongue stuck to the roof of the mouth, allowing that to soften. And bringing that scan down to the neck area. And the tops of the shoulders. Maybe lengthening up that crown of the head now a little bit more, as if it's being pulled up by an invisible string. Breathing into the area of the chest and the lungs and the heart and the upper back. Reminding ourselves to show ourselves some love here. Honor our practice. Never going into anything that feels pain. A tightness and a stretching is okay. A pain, a bone-on-bone pain is not okay. Allowing yourself to honor yourself and softly get out of any posture that may not feel right for you. And feel free at any time to send me a message or a question about any posture that can help in any way after the class. But this is pretty soft, moving anyway. Moving out of our hearts into our upper arms. Breathing into the elbows and the lower arms, into the hands, guiding the breath into the rib cage, feeling it expand and contract with each breath. Guiding that breath into the belly, noticing if the belly is getting nice and full at the end of the inhale. And then at the end of the inhale, starting the exhale, allowing that belly to come back closer to the spine as you completely release the breath. And guiding that breath into the hips, the upper legs, the bum, the knees. Maybe giving yourself a few soft circles around them, showing them some love, whether you're on the chair or cross-legged. Breathing into the lower legs and into the ankles and the feet. Showing our body some love for showing up here this morning. I'm so grateful and humbled that you are here today. And just slowly beginning to open your eyes. We're going to start here with some alternative nostril breathing today. We're going to bring balance into our practice. And balance can be an intention for you today, or maybe it's something else. And balance comes with everything from our body, and balance in our breath, balance in our life, in our relationship. We have to allow sometimes for softness and sometimes for action. It's really important for us to find that beautiful balance that's individual to ourselves, but really honoring that time to slow down, relax, and rejuvenate. So we're going to bring balance into the body with alternative nostril breathing. If you don't want to put the fingers over your nostrils, it's okay. You can just practice guiding the breath with intention in and out of the nostrils. But if you would like to, you may bring your pointer finger and your thumb up to the nose. And what we're going to do first is plug off the right and breathe in through the left. When you're done the inhale through the left, you're going to plug off the left and you're going to breathe out through the right. And then you're going to breathe in through the right, plug off the left, unplug the left and plug off the right and exhale through the left. So that's one full round. Okay? Inhale through the left. Plug it off and exhale through the right. And then when the exhale done, inhale through the right. Plug it off and exhale through the left. Again. Inhale through the left. Plug it off and exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Plug it off and exhale through the left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. And exhale left. When you're done that exhale, release the hands from the nose and just come back into a comfortable seated posture. Maybe the hands are on the knees, palms out open, or maybe the palms are facing the legs. We tend to, when we have the palms open, allow the energy to connect with us from the outer world as well. And when we bring the palms towards our body or towards the earth, kind of protecting our own energy and space. Just feeling what that felt after a few rounds of alternative nostril breathing, bringing balance into the energetic sides of the body. Our masculine, our feminine, our sun and our moon, our action, and our relaxation. Maybe bringing the hands to prayer at the heart center if that feels good for you, or you can even bring the hands crossed over as if you're giving yourself a nice somatic hug. Giving yourself an intention for your class. I brought up balance. That may be something you're looking for today in your class, or perhaps it's something else. Just allowing that intention to softly guide you through your practice today. We're going to start with a spinal warm-up, and we'll stay seated here if you'd like. So you can be seated on the chair, feet planted onto the earth. You can be seated in easy posture here, or if you'd like a little bit of an extra challenge today, you can be seated in staff pose, and you can press the heels away, toes towards your face. So we're activating the abdominal spine as long, and we're going to do our spinal warm-up with the legs activated the entire time. This is an option for you as well. Or legs crossed. I'll guide you through one flow, or seated on the chair. I'll guide you through one flow with the legs crossed, and then the others two with my legs out straight. And if you're seated in the sit chair, you know where to be. So again, bringing the hands to prayer or crossed over the chest for an inhale and an exhale. And then inhale, we're going to bring our arms up overhead, nice and long. You can look up towards the sky, getting a mild back bend here. And then on the exhale, you're going to hinge at the hips. And you're going to bring those legs forward as if you're in a seated forward fold. You're only going as far as that exhale will allow. And then on the inhale, you're coming up nice and long again. On the exhale, right arm comes down and left arm comes over the right side of the body, gaining that length in the left side. Keeping strong here in the right side of the oblique. And then inhale, come back up, both arms. Exhale, left arm comes down. Reaching over the left side, getting length in the right. Again, strength in the left oblique here. And then inhale, arms both up here. Exhale, down to the hips. Spine is still long, crown of the head long. Inhale, on the exhale, looking over to the right. Maybe getting a slight twist in the upper body, but the hips remain straight. And then inhale, come back to center. Exhale, looking over to the left. Inhale, center. Now here you can bring one leg in, just hug the knee into the chest. Whether you're seated in a chair, cross-legged or staff, and release. Inhale and exhale, hug the other leg into the body. And release, let go. That was one full round. Take a nice, long, slow, deep breath or two. Noticing any sensations in the body, noticing any warmth or coolness. Maybe tingling sensation. We'll go into round two. This time I'll go out with my legs out in staff pose. Toes towards the face, so we're activating those legs. Again, seated or in a comfortable cross-legged posture. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, arms up overhead. Again, you can look up towards the sky. Exhale, hinge at the hip, come forward with that release of breath. Inhale, coming back up long. Exhale, right arm is down, getting nice length in the left side of the body. Inhale, both arms are raised. Exhale, left arm down, lengthening out the right side of the body. Inhale, both arms are raised. Exhale to the hips. Inhale, long exhale, guiding that gaze over to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, over to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, bring that right knee in towards the chest, a little hug. Inhale, center. Exhale, left leg comes in for a hug. Inhale, center. Come back to your breath a few rounds. If you're in staff and you want to be in cross-legged for your few rounds of relaxing breath, feel free to do so or stay where you are. Noticing the softness and the depth of your breath. And then one more full round here. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hinge at the hip. Seated forward fold. And then inhale, raise up long. Exhale, right arm is down, lengthening out the left. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, left arm is down, lengthening out the right. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, hands on the hips. Inhale, long. Exhale, looking over to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, looking over to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, hug the right leg into the chest. You're going to be seated in the chair. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, hug that left leg into the chest. Inhale, release. And then come back into a cross-legged or into a comfortable seated posture again. Close the eyes and come back into that connection of breath. Even though we were moving slowly with intention, still action, allowing ourselves to honor that slowness, that romanticism energy within us, that beauty, that peace. Taking 2 or 3 more full breaths here, and then we'll guide some more movement through the entire body. Hold a few of the postures from the warm up a little bit longer for a deeper opening and strengthening. One more full breath here. And so the first thing we are going to do is our neck here. So we are going to inhale, looking up towards the sky. So we're going to try and keep the back of the neck long. All we're doing is looking up enough that we can feel an activation in the back of the neck, but we're not going so far that it's crashing over. And then on the exhale, you're going to bring the chin in towards the chest. Nice and slow, feeling that rounding right at the end as you release the breath. And then just like a dance, as you begin the inhale, we begin moving the body. Nice and slow on the inhale. Guiding your eyes up towards the sky. Again, feeling that strength in the back of the neck, only going as far as that allows. And then exhale, slowly guiding that chin in towards the chest with the release of breath. One more time. Inhale. Nice and long and opening up that heart. We'll keeping that back of the neck strong. And exhale, slowly releasing the breath as you round everything in. Tucking that chin into the chest right near the end as you release that breath. And then slowly coming back to neutral. Take one full breath here. Now we'll lengthen out the sides of the neck. We're going to inhale, straight, central. And on our exhale, we're going to guide the right ear over towards the right shoulder. If you want, you can help guide it a little bit further with the soft press of the hand into the top of that left ear. And this left arm can hang a little bit heavier down if that feels good for you. Remembering to strengthen and lengthen up. On each exhale, maybe it's coming a little bit further, but being nice and soft, yeah. And then after getting some nice length in that left side, softly releasing it, taking one full breath back in neutral. And then inhale. On the exhale, now we're bringing the left ear to the left shoulder. Gaining that nice length here in the right side, but we're holding it for a few breaths. Giving it some time to loosen, to lengthen, to release. Again, you can use the palm of the left hand to guide that right ear. Guiding that left ear a little closer towards the shoulder, perhaps. Again, this is your practice, only going as deep as feels good, being patient with yourself and slow with yourself. We never need to rush into anything, in yoga especially. And then releasing that hand from the ear if it's there and coming back into neutral. Taking 2 full breaths. Then we're going to bring our hands to prayer, just to set up for a seated cat-cow. So we're going to go from our hands to heart center. Then we're going to inhale, we're going to open up. So you're going to open your heart, bring the shoulder blades kind of close together. Now at the same time, you can guide that gaze up towards the roof, keeping that back of the neck long. And then on the exhale, we're going to round everything back in, hands to prayer, and then slowly bringing that chest that chin in towards the chest as you completely release the breath. So that's one full round. And so we will do 3 to 5 rounds of this. So let's see how we do. So closing our eyes, rooting down again, making sure you're comfortable. Spine is long. And then on the inhale, as you fill with breath, separate those hands and begin to open up. The arms are looking like cactus arms. Inhaling, bring breath into that chest, that open space. And then slowly as the exhale begins, bringing those hands back towards each other to prayer, to heart center, and then guiding that chin right in towards the chest. You can even bring the shoulders in together, rounding it a little bit more as you're coming forward with that exhale. And then again, inhale. Nice and open, feeling that space, get the strength again in the back of the spine. And exhale, releasing the breath, rounding the spine, hands to heart center, chin to chest. Okay, 3 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Balancing the spine out, rounding it, opening it up. Our whole practice is about balance today. Inhale, last time, nice and full, long and strong. And exhale, bring it back in. Rounding it completely as you release the breath. And then as you come back into your inhale, just coming back into that comfortable seated position. Now guide a longer side stretch like we had in our spinal warm-up. You can stay here for a breath or two longer, or if you're ready to join along. Gonna bring that right arm down to the earth. Inhale, lifting the left arm. And then exhale again. We want that strength here, length here. Guiding that length almost as if you're reaching to that diagonal corner of the room here. Feeling that length. And on the exhale, deepening into it a little further, but not crashing down. Keeping the breath flowing here. So before we were moving it with the breath, and now we're holding the posture, but still flowing the breath. So we're feeding the tight muscles, oxygen, prana, life force energy. We're exhaling out love, but also what no longer serves us, allowing that to dissipate into the universe. We'll stay here for 2 more full breaths if you can. And then that last exhale that's released, you come back to neutral on the inhale, back to center. You need to switch that cross-legged position. If you're seated on the floor, feel free to do so. If you need to readjust the sit bones, if you're sitting in the chair, please feel free to do so. Sigh and release that energy if you feel like you need to do so. And then allowing yourself to take that left arm, make it kind of heavy like a rag doll hanging beside you, and then reaching that right arm nice and long. Inhale. And on the exhale, again, getting that length in the right side of the body without completely collapsing in the left. Finding a spot where you're getting a nice stretch, that you feel like you are in control of the posture, that you can hold it for 4 or 5 breaths here. Again, remembering to not hold the breath, we're flowing it, moving it in and out of the body. Taking 1 more full breath here. And then as you release that exhale, coming back to the inhale, both arms are raised. And exhale, bring them back to the hips or to the knees, whichever feels better for you. Feeling now the sensations in the body as we opened up in length, a little bit more time on both sides. Feeling the sensation. Now we'll guide some hip circles. So if you're on the chair again, it's okay. Cross-legged, same. Spine long as always, crown of the head pulled to the sky. You can keep your hands on the knees if you're cross-legged, or if you are in the chair, you might have them placed onto the knees, but the legs closer together. So it doesn't matter which way we're going to guide the circle, but you're going to guide the inhale when you're coming forward and the exhale when you're coming back. And you're going to move slow with your breath. And you can even use your hands on the knees to help guide those hip circles a little bigger. Or you can keep them quite small today, depending on your practice. And one side might be different to the other. Even though we talk about balance, balance doesn't need to be perfectly the same on each side, right? We need to find the balance that works for us. And bringing balance into our life. If we're constantly go, 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 we know we need to bring more softness, more slowness, more rejuvenation. As you finish that exhale, guiding the circles in the opposite direction. Again, inhale as we come forward, exhale as we come back. And if we're constantly maybe not activating our energy, maybe slow and non-moving, need to guide some small intentional activity through our day as well, energizing our body, mind, and spirit. So we'll do one more circle in that direction. And then we'll come back into neutral. Feel sensations in the body. You feel joy in the heart. Allowing yourself to think of a moment or a person or an animal, something that brings you so much joy in your heart to help guide you through your day and help guide us through our practice. Might even allow us to bring a soft smile to our face, guiding the corner of the mouth towards the ears. Now we'll guide that seated twist. So again, if you're on the chair, you can grab onto the side or bring the hand that's behind you on the chair. Or here, my soul. And then if you are seated in cross-legged, we'll stay like this. If in your practice you want to go, bringing the leg over top of the other leg, you can feel free to do that. I'm going to continue in cross-legged today. So again, excess flex from the sit bones, reaching up nice and long. Our right arm behind me. Inhale, taking that left palm, placing it into the outside of the right knee. Inhale again, find length. On the exhale, press and twist. Nice and slowly with the release of breath. So we're moving really slowly, but with intention here. Inhale, as we fill up on the inhale, we stop. Find breath, and then exhale, we activate it again by pressing the hand into the knee, and guiding that twist in the center of our body, our chest. And eventually in our neck, our gaze is going to come towards the back of the room. Maybe 2 more full breaths. Maybe squeezing the abdominal muscles on the inhale. So on the next exhale, as you release, you might notice a little bit different of an activation in the twist and a more support and protection of the spine. And as you release that last exhale, slowly coming back to center, releasing the twist, neutralizing the spine. Taking 2 breaths here. And then bring that left hand behind you. Right palm is going to go to the outside of the left knee. Inhale. And on the exhale, press into the knee and guide the twist. So again, nice and slow. We don't want to rush into it and bring our body right to the back of the room right away, because we can cause ourselves injury. You want to go nice and slow. Not so much about the depth that you go into. It's about the depth that you need exactly for today in your practice. Again, slowly guiding that twist in the center of the body, the chest, upper spine, and finally the neck as it looks towards the back of the room. Release that last exhale, and then come back into neutral. Take 2 full breaths here. Then we're going to go into our seated forward fold. If you're in the chair again, Michelle, if you're in the chair and you're going to do the seated forward fold, you can have your legs out with the heels into the earth, or you can remain them rooted and you're going to get more of the stretch in the spine. So remember, you're going to keep the spine long and exhale in the hips. That's with the legs bent. If the legs are straight, you're just bringing the heels into the earth, toes towards the face. And then you'll get a little bit more of a stretch in the back of the legs. So that's the option for the chair. Or you can come down onto the earth. If you need a bend in the knees at first here, that's fine, because we want to keep a flat back rather than rounding into the spine at first. So again, excess flesh away from the sit bones. Sitting up high. Gonna inhale, arms up overhead. And on the exhale, you're gonna hinge at the hip coming down. We're gonna move with breath a few rounds here, and then we'll hold. So we hinge just like in the spinal warm-up. Inhale, come back up. Again, exhale, hinge, and come down. Again, inhale up. Exhale, hinge. And then inhale up. Exhale, coming down now. And now we're going to stay here. The legs can still be bent. And you might grab onto the feet or the ankles or the calves, if that feels comfortable for you. And then you're just going to let that head hang heavy over top of you now. We're rounding up the spine. And you're pressing the heels away from your toes towards the face. Your head can hang heavy, or if you have a block, you might put it onto you just below the knees or above the knees to rest the head. Another option would be the elbows into the thighs, and you can rest your chin into your palms if you're really tight here. Or the head may come all the way to the left. And really feel that activation as you press the heels away and bring those toes towards your face. You notice the extra little muscles that have been activated here. Taking 2 more full breaths like that. And then when that's released, you're going to slowly just walk yourself up. Before we go into Shavasana, I'm going to do 2 postures on the floor. So if you're seated, you can go into any of your favorite postures or just sit relaxed, and then we will come into our final relaxation at the end. So if you are, actually I'll go this way. If you are on your mat, you can lie onto the earth So the feet are onto the earth, knees to the sky. We're gonna do a hip opener here, thread the needle. So you're gonna bring, actually you can do this one on the chair. You can bring the left leg over top of the right knee. If you can do that seated on the chair, please feel free to do so. Now I feel like I have to show it. The bridge, I don't think it can be done. So if you were here, you can bring your leg onto the other leg. That's exactly what we want. And then we're going to hinge forward again, like we did in the seated forward fold. Okay? So we'll get that left leg over top of the right. So you have like that number 4 made in the legs here. Now you can bring the left arm through the hole between the legs, right arm behind. Now you're interlocking fingers behind that thigh. Let the right leg hang heavy. Inhale, fill up. On the exhale, use the strength of your arms to bring that right leg in towards the chest as you release the breath on the exhale. On the inhale, soften. We don't need to activate here. We're staying where we are, filling with breath. And then again, as the exhale begins, we begin to activate the arms, pulling that right leg in towards the chest. Nice and slow with the release of breath. And then again, one more time, inhale. And exhale. Let's do one more breath. Inhale. Soften, exhale, activate. And as you finish that activation, release the hands. Let that right foot meet the earth. Left leg lifts and then meet the right. Both knees to the sky. You just take a breath here. You can even let the knees crash in towards each other if you're on the floor. Feet are mat width apart. You get a little protection of that lower back before we go to the other side. And then slowly pressing that left foot into the earth if it's not there already. Center, knee to the sky. You're going to lift that right leg up and bring the right ankle above the left knee. So now we have that number 4 in the opposite direction. Well, upside down 4. You're going to take that right arm through the hole between the legs, left arm behind the left leg, interlock fingers there, and then let the left leg hang heavy. If you're seated on a chair, you're just bringing the opposite ankle above the opposite leg into the thigh. Remember, spine is long if you're seated in the chair. Inhale, and on the exhale, use the strength of the arms to pull that left leg in towards the chest as you're releasing the breath. Again, soften slightly on the inhale. Filling with beautiful clean prana, and exhale, activating and guiding that leg a little closer towards the chest with the strength of your arms. Again, inhale. And exhale, bring it in. And as you release that breath, releasing the hand. And pressing again, both feet mat width apart, knees crashed in towards each other. Couple breaths here. And then I just have one round of bridge that we're gonna do together. I think I can do it from here. If you are seated, you can begin to try and lift your bum muscles up off of the chair and down. And you only need to do that 1 millimeter, 1 centimeter at a time. And just noticing the activation of the muscles as you have the hands on the side of the chair and just trying to lift the bum up slowly. If you're in bridge on the floor, both feet are going to be quite close to the bum, but rooted hip width apart, knees to the sky. Hands are planted beside you, palms to the earth. Inhale, fill with breath. On the exhale, begin activating, rooting the hands down and using the strength of the legs to pull the bum up off of the mat. And then the lower back lifts and the mid back. And if the shoulder blades begin to raise up, at this point you can begin to walk your arms underneath you. This is just an option. And you can interlock the fingers beneath you, guiding a little bit more height in the bridge. If you're on the chair, just moving with the inhales and exhales. Each exhale, just slightly lifting the bum up. And then the inhale, slightly releasing. And we'll hold our bridge here, feeling the feet really rooted into the mat, the strength of the legs, opening up that back of that body. Chin is towards the chest, but the breath continues to flow. 2 more full breaths here. And then if your arms are underneath you, allowing them to walk out. And then slowly melting the spine down 1 vertebrae at a time. Now, if you are seated in the chair, time to get relaxed for our final relaxation moments of our practice today. So if you want to get some cushions, or you want to be more in a reclined chair, or you're lying in your bed, or again on the floor, on a carpet or a mat, just allow yourself to feel relaxed, and balanced in our energy, in our breath, in our life. And no matter where you are relaxing today, just allow yourself to close the eyes again. Let them get heavy. Softening the facial muscles. Again, allowing the tongue to drop away from the roof of the mouth if it's there. Bringing some soft breath into any areas of the body that may feel some tension or tightness still. Noticing perhaps how your body feels now in your mind as compared to the beginning of the class. Giving yourself a quick body scan again. And that body scan with breath, just allowing it to release and melt a little bit further. Breathing into the head. And into the neck. And into the chest and the upper back. And into the arms. And the hands. Breathing into the rib cage and the belly, the mid back, and the lower back. Breathing into the hips and the muscles surrounding this area. Breathing into the upper leg and the lower leg and the feet. And feeling the flow of energy moving through the body with the inhales and the exhales. And I'm going to guide you through a short visualization meditation, allowing yourself to see this beautiful seed that is made just for you. The shape of the seed, the color of the seed, the strength of the seed. These are all made exactly for you. And as we connect to the element of the earth, we want to now visualize ourselves digging a hole into the earth for our seed. Again, this is your own individualized seed. You are determining how deep you need to dig that hole. And then to place that seed within and covering it with earth, making it feel safe, protected, and secure. And then the sun is shining, yet these clouds come in front of the sun, and the rainfall begins to nourish the earth, including the seed that you planted into the earth. The water hydrating and nourishing your seed. And then the sun comes back out from the rain clouds and shines its beautiful strength, its illumination, its light onto the earth, including the seed planted into it. And because it felt protected and safe inside of the earth and nourished by the water, when the sunlight shone its powerful illumination onto the earth, that seed began to break out from its shell and come out of the earth and begin to grow. And again, I don't know what your seed is, and I'm not sure what you're growing, but whatever it is absolutely perfect. So we had the seed protected and safe from the earth and hydrated and nourished from the water and then fed and strengthened by the sunlight. And then the air is blowing strong and all of the plants and trees and everything on earth is being fed by the oxygen and the carbon dioxide, the air. The air is so important. It reminds us to breathe. This beautiful tool we were born with that can help us to slow down and make everything a little bit more clear. That oxygen fed your plant, your seed, that now feeding the oxygen, feeding it, allowing it to grow into this beautiful green color, growing bigger and stronger with each breath. The oxygen, the air is loving ourselves and loving the plants that we planted into the earth. And then guiding your breath into the throat, into the element of space. And that seed that was planted into the earth and hydrated and nourished by the water and given strength and purpose with the sun. And again, nourished and fed by the oxygen. Now it has all of this space to grow out. It's not being crowded by many other seeds growing in the same direction, yet it's not completely empty, nothing around it, but it has just enough space for it to grow its branches or its petals or its vines, however it needs to grow. And then holding on to that beautiful visualization of your plant that you grew today. Just allowing yourself to guide your intention between the eyebrows, just above into our third eye or our ajna center. Here I'm going to guide 5 B breaths. So you're going to take your 4 fingers from each hand and just cover your eyes. getting a little bit more darkness, release, relaxation in those muscles surrounding the eyes. You're going to plug off the ears with the thumbs when you're humming so that you can really feel the vibration strengthening our vagal tone, strengthening our vagus nerve. So again, you can chant Om if that feels better for you. If you don't feel like Om and you just feel like humming, feel free to do so. And high, low, medium level, this is again your seed, your plant, yourself. So again, fingers over the eyes. Inhale. Om. 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 2 more. Inhale. Om. Last one. Om. Moving your hands away from your face. Bringing them against the body here if you're still in Shavasana. Taking those last few intentional breaths through the crown of our head, activating our Sahasrara chakra, our soul, our God, our microcosm of the macrocosm. And then slowly allowing yourself to bring some movement back into the body. You might wiggle the fingers and the toes, maybe some wrist and ankle circles. You might even stretch nice and long as if you're waking up first thing in the morning. And then rolling over into the fetal position. Pressing yourself up into seated. If that's where you want to be to end your practice today. If you want to stay in Shavasana, feel free to do so. Should have said that a little earlier. But whatever you like today. And thank you so much for being here during this 60-minute Hatha class on Tuesdays at 7:30 Central Time. I'm so honored and grateful that you were here sharing an energy and space with me today. May the light and love within me shine and connect to the light and love within you. And may you have a balanced and beautiful day. Namaste.